Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to Astrology Unplugged. We are back today with an episode on retrograde planets. Retrograde planets um, in transit, but we're also going to talk about them in different contexts. It's one of those topics that we don't really talk about all that much, and they're just you hear buzzwords all the time. People who are not really familiar with astrology, they'll say to me, "Oh, isn't something in the microwave?" And that means, isn't something retrograde? Isn't Mercury in the microwave? But the thing is, all planets go retrograde, not just Mercury. So it's a good pause and revisit this topic because it it's happening all the time. There's always something retrograde or about to go retrograde or what we call stationing direct. But it is something we haven't talked about probably ever with Rick and I, but maybe Rick D did an episode on it. So welcome to October. Although we met last time, I was not here. And next time we will have our episode will be right before Halloween. We will do a Halloween-y episode, which will be on the eighth house and the occult. And you know, a lot to talk about when it comes to the eighth house. It's a really apropos house for that week, the
It'll
month.
be good for paranormal, metaphysics,
Oh
all
yeah,
all
all of that.
things adjacent to Halloween.
Definitely.
And I'm Rick Kempe, the
That's right.
co-host,
My
and today is specifically October 16th, and we are grateful to be here on the
yes.
Astrology Unplugged podcast, started by our friend and colleague Rick DiClemente, where you can find this on his YouTube channel. So be sure to become a regular thing and check in with
Yeah.
us once in a while.
And
We are here
actually,
and available.
yeah,
And
his website is starself.com and he's got a ton of writing. And in fact, I meant to go on today to go. I didn't, but I will just because I like to read he has tons of articles on there on different topics throughout the years. And see, the thing about astrology, it's never outdated because obviously we know that, it's a
at least
cyclical
it never goes
thing.
out of vogue.
No, no. The significations are the significations. Yes, we learn more, but it's not like there's always something to learn, always. And he has great writings on starself.com. I encourage you to find them and because even if it's talking about a transit, for example, you're going to learn just by reading that and applying it to your own life or the world or your friend's chart, and then you can almost guarantee something like that is going to come around again. It always does. It will. So that
Years
was one
ago,
of
I used to keep up with a particular astrology magazine. It may have been Your Daily Horoscope or something like that. And it wasn't a daily thing. It was like a monthly publication. And for filler in all the white space
hmm
where articles were not um, taking up the whole page, they would have little blurbs.
uh-huh,
I devoured that magazine for the blurbs.
yeah,
They would share little details about nuanced interpretations, like these things, like watch out for Mars going into the fourth house. It can create accidents. Uh, fires have been known to break out, that type of thing.
right,
So
right.
just to go ahead and tweak things, it was always something fascinating. And there are constantly fascinating things that we can explore and try to
Always,
jump into.
definitely, always. I do want to pause for a second because last time we met was um oh
The end
no,
of
it was
September?
we wouldn't have caught it, but I do want to say happy belated to Linda. She's our fellow Libran, our fellow Libra. We have a couple of them. And I realized, oh, it's October. That means it's her birthday. Yay. You're unmuting in case you didn't know.
I got a bunch of really cool stuff.
You
And
did?
I did. And my friend, Sister Rita, took me on a trip to Washington, D.C. She had a timeshare in this really fancy Hilton hotel where we had free breakfast and we went, we did nerd things. We went to the
Yeah.
Holocaust Museum and the
Yeah.
African American History Museum. We did nerd things. And it was,
Good for
we had a
you.
very good time.
Yes.
And my boss got me a Kate Spade cat purse. That
Oh my gosh. That is that for
she
your
got it
boss.
at a consignment store.
Uh-huh.
She gets them. She's really good at finding cheap purses. So
That's so
yeah.
cool.
My brother got
Good.
me a perpetual calendar it's a vintage thing. So I had a very nice birthday.
Good.
So it's not that just the stuff, it was that people really sort of got me things that were like me,
Thoughtful. Thoughtful
thoughtful.
presence.
So, and
Don't you love?
I'm glad to be back. That's all I'm going to say.
It's good to have you.
Yeah.
Yes. Happy
And
belated.
those special gifts come out of special relationships
I think so. I've been very lucky. So
because those
I feel good.
show they know you and they're thoughtful.
Yes, especially anything with a face of a cat on it. And I don't have any, I don't know where any of the girls are tonight, but they brought a mouse to my department meeting. We were on Zoom on Tuesday. A dead mouse made an appearance at my meeting.
Oh
So
my gosh.
anything can happen. I'm just telling you, anything can
Oh
happen.
my gosh. Oh my gosh. Well, happy belated. Speaking of
Thank
birthdays, I was thinking we need to tap into one of these days solar return charts. It's one of the things that I really enjoy looking at. And I ironically have had two people lately ask me to look at their solar returns. I'm big on them.
Mhm.
Um, and I especially like to look at my last one to see how that energy played out because it kind of teaches you how to look at a solar return, which I think is just slightly different. It's not too different, but it's slightly different. It's more thematic, like as opposed to like predictive and precise, you know?
Mhm.
So anyway,
Have you also gone ahead and looked at um, solar returns of years gone past where there were large events and looked at
yes,
the ones that were leading up to it and then the
yes,
aftermath?
yes.
Yeah.
And I learn stuff all the time. This is a topic that I'm always, this in the nodes, I'm always like obsessed about it because I just find them so accurate.
Mhm.
And yes, like for example, I think I've talked about it before, the year I got separated, um, the year I actually, my divorce became final, the year I had a baby, the year I moved to Georgia, like that kind of thing.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
even some really, let's face it, some years are you just kind of just coasting, and that's fine. And then some
We need
years,
a break.
yeah, yeah, thank God. Yes. Because even exciting good things can cause a
Create stress.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, not every year is those big monumental ones. But I do like to look. I knew last year was going to be a big year when I looked at my solar return chart and boy, it was a life-changing year, life-changing. Turns out this year too. Um, but I digress. We're not here to talk about solar returns today. Let's look at the let's look at the deck and let's well, let me take a step back here. So when we talk about retrograde planets, first of all, we all know, and it's very likely that you have a retrograde planet in your chart. Usually people have at least one. Some people have four, but and some have none, but I usually see about one-ish, and that's not that uncommon. Um, Nothing to be alarmed about at all. It's just part of, and it's part of your process and part of your growth and part of how you incarnated this time around and what you needed to
Mhm.
experience.
Right.
And it's really on purpose, very much on purpose. So the fact that you may have Saturn retrograde or whatever it is, it really usually to me it means there's an emphasis there where there's there's some sort of internalization that's going on, or perhaps it's something that you actually do or experience in your life. You're not even sometimes aware of it, but it's strong in in your consciousness. Um, and depending on the planet, if it's an outer planet, it's a personal planet, if it's like Mars, that's going to be that's definitely going to be a signature that you want to pay attention to, because again, it's trying to usher you into learning the lessons of whatever that is. And sometimes maybe it's not even a lesson. Maybe it's just that's the way you chose to express yourself in this lifetime.
Yeah,
Um,
and just going and getting deeper into familiarity with a specific planetary energy.
yeah.
That
Yes.
in itself is worthy of experiencing something wow, you know?
Exactly.
Linda, do you happen to um have any curiosities about some of your retrogrades that we
Um,
might keep in mind as we're going forward?
I'm just like I'm looking at my chart because I know my chart, but I don't know that retrogrades off the
Let's look at them together, shall we?
okay. Because I always pull it up on my phone so I
Yeah.
so I can see. Oh.
She's got,
Um,
she doesn't really have anything
I don't see
retrograde.
any
I don't
retrogrades.
see it. No retrogrades. Oh,
Oh
I'm
wait,
sorry.
yes.
Oh,
No.
Jupiter.
Wait. There it is.
Ju-
And Eris.
Yep. Jupiter and Eris. And yeah, see what I
And
mean?
and the node up there
Yeah. And the nodes
and the
are
node down
usually,
here
the nodes are retrograde pretty
all the
much all the
time.
time. Yeah. So I would focus right here. And,
It's kind of
that,
weird when you think about the nodes in retrograde because their natural path is the complete opposite direction
you're
of the
right.
planets.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
when the nodes are going retrograde, they're kind of getting in lockstep with everybody else, with all
Yeah,
the other energies,
right, right.
for the first time.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, maybe when we get to Jupiter, we'll talk to I'm not sure if you've ever paid attention consciously, like how that it's not something I think about all that much. I have Jupiter retrograde in my chart as well. And I remember the first time I saw it, I thought, oh, but it's not. It's just something that I needed to experience in a different way. And it for me, my Jupiter tends to be, I feel it strongly. I feel it quite strongly. Um, Maybe that's the case for you, or maybe sometimes I think it can even cause somewhat of a delay in its expression, or just there's a quirkiness about it that is not the quote unquote typical way. Not bad, not good, just the way it is. And
Well, that's my bucket handle, as Rick
Sure,
D would
uh-huh,
call it.
yep,
And
right.
and so I think I'll be honest with you, I think I feel like Jupiter expresses a lot in my chart. I
uh-huh,
feel, there's I don't mean to be big sometimes, like taking up space, but I sometimes can. And but also it's like it, I think it's a huge energy, and it's kind of retrograded as kind of nice in a way
yes,
because it's like more of a reflective aspect. So I don't know. I
yeah,
haven't thought much about it, but if it was moving full on, maybe it would be a bit much as a bucket handle. That's
Particularly in the fifth house, giving you a little bit of a theatrical uh framework, that allows you to have balance for when you're going to allow the theatrical capacity
Mm-hmm.
to express itself.
Well, yes, maybe that, that whole metaphor of the retrograde idea is, that you're moving forward and then you stop and you go back and reflect on where you've been before you move forward again. And there's
Mm-hmm.
those stations that are powerful as, I've always liked retrogrades, and Mercury retrograde has never bothered me. I mean, of course you have these issues that come up during, you know, with technology and what all that people see.
Yeah.
But Mercury's also the planet of yapping and talking and
Yeah.
expressing yourself. And lots of times we can use some retrograde in that aspect of, slow down, go back.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. I think
Think before you speak.
think before you speak, right?
it does
Exactly.
it these things I think get the job done in terms of making you pay attention to certain things that maybe you didn't, maybe you're too
You mean the retrograde?
exactly.
Yeah, it's more of an opportunity to think twice.
Yeah.
And it's going back over that old energy to sort of see maybe what you didn't see before.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
And then as you move forward again, you experience it in yet again. So it's like the third way you experience something. You go through it, and then you stop, and then you go back. And going backwards is like running the tape back, and then you go forward, and it's like a third iteration of it. I think it's amazing,
I
really.
do too.
When
I
you,
do
It really
too.
is. It's almost like a forced reflection. What
Yeah.
what got us here?
yeah, how do we end up in this mess?
Or I don't know that it's always a mess either. It's like sometimes it's that retrograde is giving you the opportunity to escape something. It didn't go so well when it hit directly, maybe, and maybe you get a chance to have a do-over.
A do-over. Yes.
How can we find do-overs? Those are interesting.
I think it's just so um fascinating that the universe has baked this in to be kind to us, because it's almost like we can sometimes really be our own worst enemies, and we
Hmm.
don't we kind of, just like you said, you know don't think twice, where we should be thinking twice sometimes, and it forces us to do it, and we don't realize it consciously. I
Hmm.
mean, I do when if there's a retrograde that I know is hitting me personally, like my planets, I'll think about it, but it's a forced reflection, which is great. I mean, I remember, and it could be when it comes to Mercury, it's like practical stuff. Like my car was making that sound. I should take it in before it gets too bad.
Hmm.
Right.
I could,
One of those sounds. Hmm.
Right.
yeah, definitely. So that's the general theme of how retrogrades can express for us, just generally speaking.
I have a personal curiosity I'd like everybody to look out for. I'm curious how much retrograde experiences through life can be reflected back to how do we experience them in light of our placement of that planet that went retrograde. So how are they affecting our birth expression of that planet?
I'm sorry, Rick. Can you say that again?
Yeah, how are our retrogrades
Yeah,
affecting the placement and expression of that energy in our birth chart for that planet?
yeah.
What are we growing to become aware of? Like I have
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Saturn in retrograde, and we were talking about it, and I was thinking, oh, I get to put that to use all the time.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
how do I look at
yes.
it? And it's in Pisces in the eighth. So how do I look at that in regard to spirituality and revisiting ideas on spirituality because it's in Pisces. How do I look at karmic lessons because it's Saturn? How do my awarenesses continue to grow through those more focused retrograde periods? Because they do push us into deeper thought.
Yeah.
I
And
think,
because you live with it all the time, you actually become really aware of how you're using that energy, whether you like it or not. Some people don't want to become aware of it, but they kind of, they're encouraged to, at the minimum.
right.
And oftentimes you end up actually tuning that part of you even more so because you
Hmm.
do live with it. Whereas somebody that didn't live with it, they wouldn't appreciate that sense of commitment that you have. It's just your example to your spirituality, that sense of devotion that you have. They wouldn't experience it as deeply. Now, that
Right.
doesn't mean they wouldn't. Of course they can, and many people,
Right.
but for some reason, this time around, you needed to have it in your chart. It's
Yeah.
really on purpose. And
Right.
I I have Jupiter retrograde in Pisces, and Rick and I were talking, and I feel like I have always just been super duper reflective and like inward, like internal about wisdom and my spirituality since I was really, really young. Um,
Now, in your 10th house, does it also get you to have global thinking that you will manage multiple tasks and details in work spaces?
that's
Because,
my job. Base,
right.
that is absolutely my job.
Hmm.
It's funny, I just realized this. So I'm a project manager, right? And when I used to work in the office, I work from home now, but you're managing a lot of different tasks and projects, okay? But in this particular job, which I had for like 8 years, everybody would come into my office or I'd go into their office, and I was like everybody's therapist. And they always used to say, like, you should be getting paid for this because it's obvious, like everybody just needs to talk to you. And I don't mean to make light of it, but I felt very much that Jupiter and Pisces in the 10th house energy, like all the time.
The
Um,
workplace chaplain.
yeah. And it really taught me a lot about myself, obviously. Um, but it's just because just that sense of always wanting to grow spiritually has always been there. Um, but it, I feel it strongly, and it's strongly like inside me. I always do. You said something that I wanted to touch on, which was the karmic aspect of it, this past life aspect of it, which definitely comes into play. Is it something that you needed to bring into this life because you needed to work something out from a past life? Whatever the planet is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
That's possibly looking at it, all the planets from a more esoteric perspective because I was specifically dealing with karma in the area of Saturn because that's the
Mhm.
lord of
Right,
karma.
right. Yes,
So, yeah, that really brings to light something that is unique to that planet, you know?
totally. Um, I remember years ago I looked at a chart with Rick, and we looked at this person's 12th harmonic. And I remember this because it made such an impression on me that this person was in this 12th harmonic chart that we were looking at, very just combative, a lot of just like rough energy. That's how it felt to us when we looked at the chart. And then we looked at this chart, the natal chart, and he had Mars retrograde in Aries, which we
Mm,
thought, wow, look at that. It's the
mhm,
thing that he used to do all the time. Why? Because maybe that's what
mm.
made us look at why would he have Mars retrograde in Aries? Let's go look at that chart. What happened there? That doesn't mean that was, we're certainly not God, but it was an interesting take to think maybe he didn't use that Martian energy in the most constructive way.
Sure.
And
Or maybe, I mean, he had a lot of high energy experiences that he needed to experience slower
temper a little
so
bit.
that he could process.
Yeah,
Because sometimes when things are coming at us too fast, what kind of time do you really have to
we
go ahead
can't.
and
Yes.
understand the why of it all? So
Yeah.
that can really do something to the pace of life, Mars in general.
Yes.
The pace of
That's a great
life can be
point.
very uh, overwhelmingly quick.
Mm-hmm.
I recall years ago, I can't remember who the author was, but there was a book I absolutely devoured and loved. It wasn't that terribly long, but the power of it was incredible. It was about retrograde planets and past lives.
Oh,
Yeah,
that sounds that sounds juicy.
it was. It was very amazing. Uh,
Yeah.
uh, yeah. So yeah, good stuff with that. And you know, it's interesting when you find people who talk about astrology a lot, who know their own chart, and they're so intrigued by having multiple retrogrades.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost as um, big a conversation topic as the idea of having multiple planets in a stellium.
Yes.
You know,
Yep.
those things that emphasize something unique. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, there's something there to pay attention to.
Hmm.
So let's look at what's coming up for us. That doesn't mean we don't continue the conversation about how
Right.
it is in your natal chart or in generally speaking. But usually around the fall, around
Are
the
you just,
summer.
excuse me, are you just hoping to show the slide or the entire print of what's on your computer?
Oh, sorry, I was probably showing you the wrong thing, right? Hold on a second. I thought I was sharing screen too. Are you seeing a blue slide?
Yeah, and then there's the controls at the top,
Yeah, okay.
and then the slides on the left. I just wanted to make sure
So,
that's what you were after.
yes, thank you. I am.
Okay.
So I'm gonna just click this. Okay. So usually around the summertime through the fall, um, the planets start to go retrograde. Not always, but like Jupiter, like if you're born in the summer, you probably have, or in the summer through fall, sometimes you'll have Jupiter retrograde in your chart because that's when it starts doing it. Neptune as well. I don't know them all, and I don't think it's like precise on the calendar. It's just it varies. But what made me think of today's topic was that we are about to enter the season where things are about to shift. They're either going to go direct, some are going to go direct, and some are going to go retrograde. And this week in particular, we had Pluto station direct after. So if you recall, and we're going to have many conversations about Pluto, but it went into Aquarius, okay? January 10th, it entered 1 degree. It didn't enter 1 degree. It was a 1 degree, and it entered the retrograde zone. So and like pretty quickly after it went into Aquarius. I think it was into Aquarius for a month or so, around give or take a month, and then it enters what they call station retrograde. Um, I'm sorry, it enters the same place where it will return, so 1 degrees. And then May 4th, at 3 degrees, it went retrograde. So really, since Pluto has been in Aquarius, it has traveled 4 degrees and it's gone backwards. So it went forward 4 degrees and then it went backwards. And right here where my cursor is, can you see my cursor?
Yes.
Okay. That's where it is right now. And it's going to go forward and it's going to take about 4-ish months to go forward again, to get back to that point around three something, 3 degrees, almost 4 degrees. And I've personally been feeling it because I have somebody in my life who has a 4-degree moon in Aquarius. So I'm watching this person. But I also know people with other early fixed planets, and they are feeling it. They are feeling the Pluto. Now, it just went, so what does it mean when Pluto is retrograding? It's this, remember, Pluto is deep internal stuff that you're dealing with. And it is slow. It's like a slow simmer, but powerful heat that you're under. So the last few months, this person has been experiencing internally. This change has been happening. It's slow, right? And then so in February 4th of next year, it'll start moving direct. Now, it's like a train. A train goes forward, stops, and then starts moving, picks up speed, and then it goes again. It doesn't just stop, go, stop, go, stop, go. That's not how it works. It needs to pick up speed and it needs to slow down when it actually comes to a full stop. So if you have anything at
So,
go ahead.
I think the emphasis here should be understood that as it's picking up speed slowly, it's gaining effect. It's
Yes,
strengthening its effect as it gets a little
yes,
faster.
yes.
Of course, that date of shift can be notable,
Exactly.
but how much it gets into the fullness of all that it is will grow as it moves.
Right. That fullness that you'll see
Of the planet, whichever
of the
one it is.
planet in like outwardly.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how for the most part, I'll think of retrograding planets where you're feeling it on the inside. And there comes a point where something you may not see it in your friend or somebody but they're experiencing something and it could be something subtle, but then it will come out into the open. That doesn't mean you'll know about it or it's going to be this big, huge event, but it will have a sense of first it's inside and then it comes out. Um, and Pluto is just, Pluto's Pluto. So it's going to be strong. If you have early
Yeah.
Taurus, early Leo, early Aquarius, and Scorpio, you're feeling this. Early, I would say from 0 to like 7 degrees. Um, but especially if you like from 0 to 5 degrees, you're going to feel it. And you're going to continue to feel it through next year and the year after because it's going to go. I looked at this already and it's going to go to like, I want to say 7 degrees in 26, and then it'll go back to I want 3 degrees. So you see this internal stuff that Pluto does with us. It's a good thing it is this slow because we probably it would be so it would be a lot to take. It's already a lot to take because that change is so, it's so deeply felt and so impactful for us. So that's Pluto. And so keep an eye out on your early fixed friends and
So
help them along.
I actually have 4 degrees Taurus at my midheaven. It's not a planet.
It's
It's
just
a mathematical point.
yep, yep.
So curious as to what might happen. I'll have to watch
Yes.
out, you know,
Yes.
how does that burst forth in a change,
Absolutely.
you know?
Because it's not a planet, but it's an important point.
Sure.
Yeah. So
Hmm.
this is, yeah, I agree. So we got to keep an eye on Rick now. In the best way, because I think what is the reminder here with Pluto? It wants you to take charge of something in your life. And
Well,
it,
public expression,
yeah,
you know, public work,
totally.
transformation,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
And very
and it'll be
likely.
catalyzed, so it's a square energy.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And in that area, very likely, you know, people on the outside are going to see it. It's not the fourth
Hmm.
house, it's the 10th house, right? So
Hmm.
it's something that you're going to be feeling that will be outwardly known or seen.
Hmm.
So let's move on to Neptune. Neptune, um, if you remember from our talks, our past talks on Neptune, uh, we talked about this because it was what was going on with Neptune that we had this conversation. Oh, it
Well,
was
we've been
moving back
talking
and
about,
forth into Aries and
right.
Pisces, and I can't remember exactly the topic, but
Well,
basically,
it's been in a lot of our conversations because of the Saturn Neptune
yeah,
conjunction that Rick had really been looking forward to and talking about
yeah,
and building up to.
yeah. So it went retrograde on July 4th, and it was in Aries. So it went to 2 degrees Neptune, and now it's gone backwards. Oh, I'm sorry, it's
To,
stationed, and then it's gonna station direct. So it's gonna get ready to go forward again to Aries. So what I'm trying to say is it's been dipping into Pisces, late Pisces.
mhm.
It's going to pause and then it's going to go forward into Aries. And when it goes into Aries, um, it's going to station direct December 10th, you know, and into January, into February, we're going to feel this forward movement and it'll be fully in Aries and we will
But
know.
not before it goes back into the Pisces for the last time.
That's right. That's right. Thank
Hmm.
you. And that will be it. That will be the last Pisces.
Of our lifetimes.
Yeah. And then it'll be bumping into Saturn. This is the big thing, the big transit that you hear a lot of us talking about, and we're gonna be talking about it in November. This is a key transit that we really have not experienced in our lifetimes. So it'll be really, really fascinating to watch it. And anything in Aries is usually unforgettable. And then you put Neptune and Saturn together. Energies that can be somewhat, you know, not not complementary, but there is a sense of it be, you know, it you can use it in a complementary way. That transit's going to be so key for us. If you're a fire sign, early fire sign, early airy, I mean, air sign, you will be benefiting from this a lot. But all of us will in some way or another be feeling it. So that's the Neptune. And I have actually been experiencing it. I've been feeling it a lot because I have Mercury at 29 degrees Cancer. So it's been um trining my Mercury. And I love that because it feels like I'm just getting just like completely doused in messages, which is great. Um, a lot of like very deeply felt, very compassionate conversations going on. So that's Neptune. So it's going to, towards the end of the year through the beginning of the next year, we're going to see this movement. This one's one of my favorites right now. Uranus. So Uranus is currently, I'm sure John could talk to you about this because he has felt this for years. Um, but it's been in Taurus, right, for 7 years. And then in May, it entered that retrograde zone. And then it stationed, it started moving forward again. It stationed retrograde in September. Okay. So what's going to happen is right now it's at 1 degree Gemini. And then it will go backwards into Taurus for the last time. Again, this is another one I'm feeling because I'm a 27-degree Taurus rising. So
Mm.
this is my third time of this transit. This is key. This is so key. I cannot wait. No, I don't mean to. No, I mean, let's face it. I'm excited about it. It's
It's
pretty.
an awakening to a deeper understanding of who you are as a person.
I mean, my gosh, if you have a transit like this once in your life, it's just it's been fascinating to me. It's been
Mhm.
really, really, absolutely awakening is the right word. So,
Well, yeah, absolutely. And
yeah.
then, did you happen to ever take a look back and see what it was doing, um, when it crossed over your
Descendant?
yeah,
Did you mean descendant?
yes.
No, I haven't, but I should. Oh my gosh, I need to do that ASAP. So that would have
Yeah.
been, I don't
In
remember.
Scorpio,
Yeah.
you would have been young.
Yeah, quite young. So anyway, I absolutely will.
Hmm.
Definitely.
Yeah, it
So,
may show you something about how you partner,
mm-hmm,
how
mm-hmm.
you hold your boundary between yourself and other in collaboration for working together.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I want to look at this right now. Uranus in Scorpio. Oh gosh.
Yeah. I find that it's very helpful, and I try to help a lot of my clients with looking at major transits as they have occurred through their life. So I'll use, like, yes, I'll use the first square opposition and whatnot, but when it also comes to conjoining a major planet
Oh
or
gosh, yes.
crossing an angle, or if it should happen to reach the vertex, that
Yes.
might be an interesting place to note. You know, who are you meeting? When it hits your vertex.
Totally.
That's
Totally.
a curious thing to look at. So there are many different elements that we can uncover what was intended from the point of our birth to be triggered at the time of a transit. Because I keep finding these new spaces to recognize evolutionary astrology
Oh,
is a
yes.
part of watching our souls grow as we experience unfolding transits before us over the years.
Yeah, because that's gonna give you so much more layered.
understanding.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Mhm.
So,
I look at those retrogrades and outer planets both as requiring us to look inward,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
and we have to have data that will register unconsciously, but then when the transit hits, the data connected to that planetary energy is going to get triggered. It'll get
yeah,
memory struck. Why am I thinking about this at this time? What's going on? What are the thoughts that are coming to mind on those days?
yeah.
You know, it
It's
very well
very
could
key.
be something amazing.
I just looked at it because I couldn't wait. And it was in 1980. And I was when my parents got divorced, and I mean, that's the only thing I know. I mean, that's a big deal. You
Oh
know,
yeah,
it's a really
in the
big deal.
area of individuality, it's the strength of knowing that if your individuality is not seen in a partnership, the partnership has reached its use by date.
Yeah, yeah. So that's really interesting to think about
Hmm.
what was going on around that time. And I was separated from my siblings and my father. So, Uranus can sometimes, create a sense of separation. I mean, externally,
Sure.
along that axis, it can. Doesn't always have
Hmm.
to. Um, but very, very good to think about what happened around the first time.
How formative that would have been for someone of that young age
Mm-hmm. Totally.
prior to any thoughts of serious pair bonding.
Yeah.
It was clearly early childhood conditioning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And uh, 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 I'm gonna have to report
Chew on
back
that
on
for a
this.
while.
'Cause this is juicy.
Yes.
So anyway, we are going to be having February 3rd is going to station direct at 27 Taurus, right? And it's going to pause there before it moves forward. And then it's going to move forward into Gemini and fully leaves that retrograde zone, meaning the zone where it originally went retrograde. That's what that signifies. But in any case, it will enter. So February, March, April, it'll go into Gemini again for good. So early Geminis. I mean, honestly, my son, my child, he's a 9-degree Gemini sun. And he's got his Saturn, he's got his Jupiter, he's got his Mercury, got a bunch of stuff in Gemini. I can see it already, and that's 9 degrees away. So
Mhm.
the the outer planets, you can be felt a lot earlier. Um, because they are really that much more powerful, that they're really impactful in our lives. So
So
very,
how do you notice some of these capable of being noticed? What gets noticed with specific planets have it like are you
right,
saying you're recognizing a Uranus thing with your son?
yes.
So
So a
does that
sense of,
go yeah, what senses are triggered?
yeah. And it's because I'm looking at astrology that I notice it, but if I wonder how I would feel if I didn't know astrology, but I'm thinking that he's willing to take more risks. He's willing to kind of go out on a limb where he wasn't before. He's always kind of been a little bit more timid about, you know, uh, being ready to do something. Now he's
Mhm.
more almost, I don't want to say rebellious is too big a word, but you can tell it's like he's starting to just let loose,
Mhm.
which is very Uranian, very much so. Um,
Very mutable,
Very mutable too. Yeah.
you know,
And
less fixed.
gosh, yes. And for a personality like his, it's going to be just, I can see it's going to be so well balanced because he is so much on the other spectrum. So, for example, if you take a James Dean type of personality, right? And then you put a Uranus transit on him, that can look different
Mm-hmm.
than when somebody that's more timid. So a more cautious personality, that's going to be so nice for them because they're probably just going to feel freer and not like, kind of committed to doing the right thing and saying the right thing and being the right way. And it's a little, that rebelliousness can be really healthy. It's not like he's going to go, skydiving tomorrow. He may.
Right. Right.
But it's not overused in the way that becomes almost like, oh, watch out, like, the Uranian opposition where people have this midlife crisis and they get a convertible and a new girlfriend or something. It's not like that.
Right.
Um, so it early,
Very much in Gemini, with as quiet as the Tarian energy is, I expect it to be a lot more conversant
yeah. Oh, yeah.
because Tarian energy can be very tight to the vest with words.
Mm-hmm.
And as it moves into influencing us to be more expressive verbally,
Yes.
use a larger perspective, a larger lens to focus the delivery of meaning. It might
Yes.
be a little bit more exuberant.
Absolutely. I just realized something. Totally off topic. It's not totally off topic, but the first, when Uranus was in Scorpio and it was hitting my descendant, I moved to another home and eventually to another country. And
Mm,
now, around the time that it's going to hit my ascendant, I'm going to move to another part of the country. It's a big move,
sure.
like a life altering thing.
Right.
Um, Uranus is a fascinating planet when you have these sort of, it's a dislodger of sorts. It
Hmm.
dislodges any stagnancy in your life,
Sure.
any need to, remain secure and
Hmm.
have things be just status quo. So that's not gonna be, who knows, guys? Will
Right.
you see
Right.
me in a few months?
So I'd like to take a moment to welcome um the we haven't heard from John for starters,
Yes.
So, but before it, John came into we were kind of in the middle of things, and he understands what we're talking about. But
Uh-huh.
the newest addition here is Kim Christie, and
Hi.
hi there, Kim.
Just
How's
popping in for a minute. I just wanted to say hi and see what's going on.
Yeah, we are looking at retrogrades in outer planets and how the energies are going to be shifting. And it's part of a larger conversation that'll be on the entire episode. So
Oh,
if you
wonderful.
get taken away by some time demand, no worries. But
Yeah, no.
Welcome.
we're having all kinds of fun looking
Oh,
at
yeah.
different elements of how retrogrades can affect you, not just as a transit, but also when it makes that shift, does it change the way your original planetary, like if it's a Uranus shift, does it change the way your Uranus looks and how it works for you? How it just brings you to new awareness. And we're looking at that all over the place. We're having a ball
Yes.
just
Yes.
playing with it.
I love it.
Yeah, fun stuff.
Yes. I'm glad you're here, Lynn. It's nice to meet you. Um, so let me go
You as
back.
well.
Thank you. So go back to here, and I'll share my screen again. So that was the outer planets. So you see what I'm saying, guys? It's like retrograde season going on right now. Let's
As
go
the
to,
summer is traditionally
yeah,
the
the
hallmark.
time. So Saturn went retrograde in July. So from July to November, it's going to be retrograde in Pisces. And um this is going to be another one similar to Neptune. It's not quite the same degrees, but it's traveling backwards into Pisces and then forward into Aries. And that's when they're going to bump up together early next year because they're kind of like inching close to each other. And so Saturn, we talked a little bit about Saturn and how Rick might experience it. It's a sense of really inward, internalized sense of, really committing and seriousness about a topic or area in your life, depending on where it hits in your chart. Um,
And
but
the observations that you have in regard to spirituality in Pisces and your identity in Aries are going to be growing as you
Mhm.
look at how those things are triggering memories. Why are you thinking about this situation from way back when? Maybe it's actually related to some of the things that the energy is trying to bring you to.
Yeah,
Because a lot of times it's my suspicion that retrogrades, much like outer planet energies, hit the unconscious. There's so much that we process. We don't do it all topically off the top of our head. While I'm making an omelet, I want to get these ingredients prepped and ready. That's conscious. Saturn dealing with
yeah,
uh things that happened 10 years ago, that's unconscious.
exactly.
While I'm doing the sous chef work,
Exactly.
you know.
Yeah, yeah. It's the little whispers in your head that you probably don't even vocalize ever.
Mm-mm. Right.
And but yet they're there and they're like undercurrents and those are the things I call um the little whispers or the nudges like right before sleep or right before you awake fully or in
Mm-hmm.
your dream world, just that you feel or you know or you think but maybe isn't as
Maybe it's
conscious.
less random than you are aware.
Yeah. Yeah,
It only
exactly.
appears
And
random because we
that's
don't understand.
that's such a key way, that's such a key thing. It's less random than you think. There's actually a purpose or a reason for it. You just maybe haven't vocalized it or realized it
Yeah.
yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, you haven't pulled back long enough, far enough to see why is that relevant right now?
Yeah.
You know?
Yep. Yep. Why is it relevant? And why is it relevant right now? Why is it coming up right now? How come
Mm-hmm.
I'm feeling like this?
Mm-hmm.
And all of these, depending on the planet, they're gonna, if you're any kind of reflective person, you're gonna go, whoa, I notice I'm doing this now. I notice I'm not doing this now. Or why do I feel this way around this person? That kind of thing. Just little subtleties.
Or why
Um,
is it making me think about another experience?
yeah. Yes. Yes. That maybe even could feel very not related. But there is something that the consciousness wants you to pay attention to that, oh, it's because that's when you felt this last
Mm-hmm.
time, or that's when I began to experience this. Um, the psyche is incredible.
Right.
It really is. So, yeah, Saturn, this is another one I'm feeling too. It's because I have that I have a sextile. So Saturn in water is going to be very different than Saturn in fire. So this is,
Hmm.
we've experienced Saturn in Pisces for the last 2.5 years. I mean, 2 years, and it'll be another 6-ish months, give or take.
It's a much calmer expression in some regards.
The Pisces,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. Um, in Aries, it's going to feel very different.
Hmm.
Just like Neptune. I mean, that whole transit of any planet, that whole journey from Pisces to Aries, whoa. It's like, whoa. What
Yeah,
happened
because
here?
right, I mean, you're finishing up some sort of cycle with a
Yeah.
planet, and it's pulling all the lessons from the previous signs from the first Aries cycle into the next Pisces cycle, and now you're going to go ahead and take a look at that. What's happened for the past 30 years, and
Yeah.
you know,
Exactly.
time to start something new. You know,
Oh, just the last 30 years?
right?
That's hilarious. Yeah, no, it's true. It's true. So
Mhm.
if you've got late water or late mutable, you're probably feeling this more. And then you're
Mhm.
going to be feeling it if you have early fire or early cardinal signs. You're going to be feeling it more. Um,
Mhm.
if you have the fire, you're going to be feeling it when it goes to Aries in a more like oomph sort of way. Like the energy will help
Right.
you, right? And then if it's cardinal, it's going to form a square. So you're going to have some level of discomfort to push you on to something, to
Mhm.
urge you and help you. Ultimately, is to help you, but it's going to be uncomfortable and maybe even challenging. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. It could be hard, but it's because you're ready to like activate that part of yourself.
Sure.
So that's Saturn.
It's
And
always easier than when you understand what's coming and how to process.
don't you
So
find
it's a
that that is the
big help
case?
having an
Yes.
astrologer.
That is why it's not why, but it's the biggest thing. For example, like this week, I forget what's going on this week that made me think, actually, this is a really good time to have that conversation that's been hard to have. Like certain
Mm.
things are going to help, certain times are going to help you. But
Oh
like,
yeah, I mean, Saturn retrograding into Pisces certainly could facilitate conversations that are tricky and difficult
yeah,
because you can really slide into it.
yes,
Gently share.
yes, and have a sense of shared like goal and commitment to, hey, hopefully we can uh, be more mature about this.
Yeah, and there's a lot of opportunity for common ground with Pisces because
Mm-hmm.
that symbol that is frequently shown with fish going in different directions
Mm-hmm.
suggests like um some have said one is going towards the head and the other is going towards the heart, and I've also heard it said some they're swimming towards heaven and another is swimming towards earth, but there's this dichotomy of polar shifted, or not polar shifted, polar differences in perspective that you could see both sides.
Right, right.
And that ability to see both sides is fantastic for conflict resolution
Mm-hmm.
because you can see what the other is trying to navigate while they can see perhaps a better opportunity of what you're trying to navigate. So this is a tremendous time for coming together.
Definitely. Definitely. I could not agree more. I have I have this hitting me as well, and it's been really helpful to kind of, I'll be honest, to really work with other people in a better, more mature way and not be
Mm-hmm.
so impatient, which I can be, and not be so um, quick to say, "Oh, I don't want to do that. Oh, I'm done with that," or like that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's I look at these transits and I go, "Hold on, Claudia." What am I supposed to be learning right now? That's hard for me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it's always helping,
Mm-hmm.
because if I work with the energy, it always helps.
Sure,
If I
sure.
resist it, I get
Trouble persists.
all schmutzied up about
Yeah.
it.
So in case it's at all helpful, Liza and I were talking today, and one of the things that came up was how it seems that astrologers always find benefit from looking at history,
Hmm.
whether it be
Oh yeah.
global or personal.
Yes, yes,
But
yes.
also, we're not just um, as astrologers, we're not just armchair historians. We're also taking a sociological view towards humanity, growth and development, a large variety of things that I think is very helpful to understand, as you're saying, if we know about what's coming, how does it help?
Right.
Because there is definitely a likelihood we can find something that helps. So I think it's a neat thing to recognize that astrologers have this little bit of a renaissance element about them, you know? We are part many different
Totally.
things,
Yeah,
you
that
know?
makes total sense. I love
You
that.
yeah.
It's humbling and invigorating.
Hmm.
So I think we have one more. We've got Jupiter. Jupiter. Um, oh, and Cancer. I'm liking this one too. Okay, so it's about to station retrograde, November 11th in Cancer at 25. This one's only going to travel through the same sign, which is Cancer. So it's going to
Right.
go from 25
And
to
what is the planet that it is playing in a square with currently?
let us see, shall we?
Please.
Hold on a second. Let me put this over here. Wait, that's hard for you to see, isn't it?
It's not so bad, but
Because are you still seeing the slide behind it?
no, but it's not taking up the whole space like it frequently does.
Okay, let me do this. This is going to be better for you. So
Okay.
let's see, screen one, share. Okay, October 16th. So it's in square to Libra right at this moment, but that'll
A
go fast.
Chiron square.
Chiron. Yes. Yes.
That's good.
Thank you for pointing this out. Oh my gosh, Chiron's at 24.
Yeah, with Eris.
That's right on my Chiron.
Oh, and Pluto's over there. And at the moment you're talking, there's the sun at 23. So what a wonderful day to point it out to you.
Yes. No wonder last night was the way it was. All
Go
that
figure.
stuff came coming rushing in, all the 12th house Chiron crap.
Right.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. I shouldn't be talking like this. So, yeah. Yeah, that's a big one because Eris is in the mix.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
We got Eris in the mix, squaring Jupiter, two planets that can be like, not in a bad way, just like, okay,
Right.
no, pay attention here. This is You need
Right,
to,
here's your sign.
yes, aside from Rick telling you. So, yeah, that's what it's squaring now. So if you look at it right here, it's gonna go to 25, and then it'll go backwards up to 15 of, gosh, that's a long time. It's gonna go through March. So November through March, it'll go from 25 to 15. And then as of June 6th of next year, it'll be at 25 again, and then start moving forward. So
So
it'll,
because it's making this journey now, its effect at the beginning of this tells me that this Jupiter Chiron square as a transit is affecting the planet
mhm,
in personal ways, bringing everybody up to this place where we'll be looking at how has our family nurturing perhaps been falling, how has it fallen short, that
yeah,
it created Chiron wounds in our own identity that we are needing to tweak and understand.
that
Because
is,
as it goes retrograde, we'll be thinking about it. And as it goes forward again, we're going to have a kinder, gentler perspective on it, quite possibly. So this might be a good time for some reconciliation, some healing, but at the same time that it's a good time for that, all the tension coming up to this point has possibly been the cause of some inner turmoil and tensions in relationships with
you don't
family.
say. I mean, you're talking my language. It's like you just said my whole life right there. That's hilarious. But it applies to everybody. You see?
Yeah,
It
it's that's why I love the idea of dealing with these transits.
yes,
It's a
yes,
reading for everyone.
it totally is. Like Rick used to say, he would say, it's one mind, right? Like, because we are really all connected, truly. We really, really are. We don't think we are sometimes, but we are. And every time, like sometimes I would have a thought, that random thought, and then he'd say to me, "Wow, I was just thinking that today," and he wouldn't be surprised about it at all because he always said to me, "No, everybody, we are one mind and one force." But like the birds when they fly together, um, it just,
And they change flight pattern
yeah.
in unison?
It's amazing. It's like that will never get old for me.
Right.
I will never look at that and just take it for granted because it's
It's like
just
an aerial
amazing.
ballet watching them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
100%. So yeah, we're definitely going to be feeling that. A lot of family stuff, a lot of family stuff coming up. And Jupiter does very well in Cancer. It's exalted in Cancer. It does very well. So this is a really nice time to um work on any kind of wounds. I just like using the pen, really. I took my funny pills today.
You did.
Um, so yeah, that's going to, and then guess what, Rick?
And I think it's really intriguing that it happens to be so tight. And here we are looking at it, and there's that sun in Libra, recognizing everyone's soul being in partnership with other people, because
Yeah,
it's, isn't it in partnership where we rub up against each other raw,
totally.
you
That's
know?
where the stuff comes out.
Right.
Yeah, that's really,
Yeah. And just to go ahead and add a little craziness in the mix, you got Mercury conjoined Mars in Scorpio.
Oh yeah, this is
Th-
gonna be, this is gonna perfect. I want to say it's gonna perfect this coming week.
Mhm.
This is good stuff. You know, talk about having real soulful conversations.
Mhm.
That can also be, you know, you choose. You can attack your neighbor here, or you can
Mhm.
work on, like Rick said, reconciliation, or seeing eye to eye, or
Right.
you know, like
And that's
working
very much part
together.
of the nodal axis right now
Yes. Oh yeah.
because they create a wedge.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-mm-mm.
So, and actually Mars is going to soon trine Jupiter. That'll be nice too. Those two energies working
Sure.
together well, you know, in tandem with each other, using
Oh,
the
hopefully
force.
that will guide people more towards trying to find their own sufficiency within themselves to lighten up on the older generation who didn't know how to nurture them,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe they can take the hint and parent themselves for where they felt they were missing something.
Yeah, that would be that would be great. Um, so that was the last retrograde. Oh, I left one out. I didn't include this one, but it's going to happen in November. So right around mid-November, Mercury's going to go retrograde, and it's going to start out in Sag and go into Scorpio.
Okay.
So it'll be like early Sag, like I want to say like 3 or 5 degrees of Sag, and go to Scorpio. Wait a minute. Is that right? I don't remember the degrees. I can look them up in a second, but it'll be Sag and Mercury, Scorpio, a few weeks in November. So travel and, you know, healing. That's a good time for heal. Scorpio can be the place for healing as well. We
So, what is Mercury doing for the week of Thanksgiving? Will it go direct before then?
Because all those families are going to be around the table. Is that what you're saying?
Well, no, travel.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Short
Let's
term.
see.
Yeah, what does Thanksgiving look like? As long as we're talking about retrograde Mercury, it's
Yeah,
not just the communication, it's also the travel and what we can
totally.
expect in airports, highways,
Yeah.
as well as the dinner table.
So, Thanksgiving is the 27th. Okay. Let me share my screen. Um, I haven't looked at it yet, but um, Mercury will be retrograde.
Hmm,
It'll be close to Venus. That'll help it somewhat.
but it's
Um,
certainly not the best time to be traveling far.
yeah. They got this lovely trine though.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
wonderful. A
Mm,
nice, wonderful water trine.
actually with Saturn as well.
Yeah,
And then this, and then this, and then this.
yeah.
Um, and the moon will be in Pisces.
Maybe
And
it'll be a pleasant Thanksgiving for those who are landing where they expect to be.
yeah, I hope so. We've had a lot of air stuff, you know, like accidents, plane stuff. That is scary, but I think so. I hope so. And then we move into next year, really. So next year we'll talk about next year. But
Now,
yeah,
for anybody who didn't catch our intro, next episode we will discuss Halloween and indicators in the chart for the occult, the paranormal, metaphysical, all things of that sort.
that'll be a
Uh,
fun one.
Super fun stuff.
Yeah, I'm excited about it.
I hope you invite me for the next time. And it was kind of like I just jumped on. I wasn't really prepared.
Oh, Lynn,
Absolutely.
you're
2
welcome every
weeks.
time. Yes, no need to get an invite. You just come in anytime you want.
Thank
I
you.
can,
I'm trying to stay on mute. My toddler's in the background being a little wild.
Oh,
no
that's
worries.
okay. Yes, we'll talk
I
about
can invite you to the Facebook group. That way you can see the link at any time.
yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, thank you.
Sure.
Um, so Jupiter is going to be the last planet of the year that where it will go retrograde into next year. And it's going to be quite a long retrograde, it feels like. In June, it'll go back at 25 degrees, and then it'll have 5 degrees, and it'll zip through those 5 degrees. And then it's gonna go into Leo.
Maybe our nation sort of needs that Jupiter in Gemini or Jupiter in Cancer for a while.
Yeah,
It'll
I feel
help
like
to
we need
soothe and
Jupiter in
calm.
Cancer, like, yes, for a very long time.
Mhm.
Yeah. So you're right, that retrograde is beneficial. I hear what you're
Mhm.
saying. We need it. And even the fact that so the square to Eris, I think could be very helpful in having.
Well, it depends. I'm going to go back to what I've said previously. There is neither a good nor a bad chart, nor is there possibly a good or a bad aspect. It all depends on how the native choose to respond to the stimulus.
Yeah.
How will you approach the lesson? Will you embrace and move forward, or will you not take responsibility and be antagonistic?
Yeah.
Because Cancer is frequently a sign of multiple wonderful yet intense connections to the military, devotion,
Mm-hmm.
and there are some incredible servicemen out there, service personnel
Mm-hmm.
that are deeply devoted to not just homeland and military, but also family. Those are all under Cancer. And some people can get some really jaded ideas and get some powerful
Yeah.
uh, backlash in their thoughts regarding what they think about their patriotic ideas.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I hear what yeah. I see what you're saying. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So it's nice to hope that this will relax a little. And I just think that maybe Eris will bring a little bit of fairness to the game.
Right. That's what I was thinking.
It would be nice.
A little bit of a more fighting for what's right and
Mm-hmm.
just and
Right.
doing the best for for others, for
Mm-hmm.
all. That
Right.
would be that would be great. That would be really great.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I think I'm going to wrap up. I would
Yeah.
like to remind you all, like Rick said, the 30th is our next episode. It's the day before Halloween. So join us then. We'll have a good time talking about the eighth house. And then after that, it'll be November. We already know we want to do a Neptune Saturn episode, and then we will come up with more stuff. So anyway, thank you so much, everybody. Have a great night. Thank you, YouTubers, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Good
Take
you.
care.
night.
Good night,
Many
everybody.
blessings.
Love you guys.
Love
Bye,
you
Dr.
too.
Much
Joan.
love all.
Bye-bye. Take
Bye.
care.
Bye-bye.